Welcome to the ArmaniTalks podcast. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this podcast, I'm helping you level up your 5 soft skills: public speaking, storytelling, social dynamics, emotional intelligence, and creativity. 5 soft skills for you to change your life forever and skyrocket your confidence along the way. In this episode, we're entering the world of public speaking, and I'm going to be speaking about the fear of speaking up while sitting down. When I was first starting the ArmaniTalks business, I was getting a lot of different coaching calls done with different members from all around the world. And you must imagine my shock when I was expecting something and I got something completely different. Initially, I was expecting that different people were going to hit me up in regards to some sort of public speaking issue. Maybe it was giving a best man speech. Maybe it was a presentation that they had coming up for a conference and they were a little nervous about it. Maybe it was a work presentation. Something like that. I was extremely shocked that I was getting a lot of contacts in regards to public speaking fear, but while sitting down. These people that were contacting me were hitting me up and saying that they were terrified to speak in work meetings. This is when different people are sitting down, they're all sharing their ideas. But this particular person who contacted me just felt stiff. They didn't feel comfortable speaking up. And it was even more shocking that there were different people from different parts of the world hitting me up about the same exact issue. Africa, Canada, Australia, Philippines, different parts of the world that were saying that this was a problem for them. And that's when it started to click. Because let's break it down very logically. How often are people actually speaking in front of a crowd, where it's them with a mic speaking in front of an audience? Unless you're some sort of professional speaker, this is a very rare occasion for you. You're probably a best man every now and then. You're probably speaking in a conference every now and then. And unless you're very high in leadership position, you're probably not giving that many presentations at work. But in terms of work meetings, that's very common. And it's so common that there's another problem in regards to it. You're sitting down. Whenever you're sitting down, the likelihood of your posture messing up skyrockets. While when you're standing up, it's a little different. Yes, your posture can suck even when you're standing up, but it's a little bit better than when you're sitting down. And poor posture immediately leads to poor breathing, and poor breathing automatically leads to poor speaking skills. And let's add in one more little variable as to why the fear of speaking up while sitting down is a problem. Lack of planning. Because let's go back to the first example. If you're someone who is giving a speech every now and then I'm sure that you've done some sort of preparation before you got on stage. But when you're sitting down and you're doing one of these little work meetings, a lot of the speaking is actually impromptu. And whenever people don't have the courage to speak without planning, there's more nerves. Idiot, I thought. How did I not see this before? This is a very, very common issue for different professions. And I want to give you the fix. The fix is that you need to give yourself less time to speak. As I was speaking to these different people from different parts of the world, I started to notice one commonality. They kept on thinking that the other people were going to make it extremely easy for the nervous person to speak. That was rarely the case. What the nervous person thought was that others were just randomly going to stay quiet at a certain point in the meeting, and now this nervous person can just boldly announce their ideas with clarity and confidence. Imagine their shock when that was not remotely the case. The actual meeting had one conversation going to another conversation and another one, where the nervous person was very baffled by when they were going to contribute. So during our free consultation sessions, I decided that I was going to give them this tip. don't expect for there to be this very long silence where others are making it easier on you. Actually, better yet, expect that others are not going to make it easier on you. When you have that expectancy from the very beginning stages, it becomes so much easier to feel calmer because now you're setting the right expectations. That's just how it works in the real world. Others just want to yap and yap away. Now, once you set that right expectation, what you want to do is notice little blips in the conversation. And these little blips basically are silences when no one is saying anything. Because you don't just want to share your ideas when someone else is midpoint. Because now you're cutting someone off and you're coming off as annoying. Instead, be one of those individuals that's looking for these little silences. As soon as you spot the silence, if you want to speak, and what I mean by this is that you actually have something to say, speak immediately. Don't just speak because there's a silence and you have nothing to say, but there's a silence and you have something to contribute into the conversation. Do not think anymore. Just contribute. And you'll be surprised. The less time that you give yourself to contribute, the better off that you are, because you'll notice that other people are like, oh, whoa, that was a brilliant idea. And a lot of the other people are gently slowing down. They're nodding their heads. And they're like, brilliant, brilliant idea. Not always. Sometimes people will disagree with you. But you want to know something? Immediately, you'll have more confidence just because you said something versus the version of you that doesn't say a single word. Even if you say something you get disagreed with by everyone in the meeting, you have way more confidence than the person who just silently taking notes, or better yet, pretending to take notes. So what you want to do from here on out is understand that other people are not going to make it easier on you. They're going to make it very difficult on you. Nothing personal. It's just the way that it works. And what you want to do is spot random moments of silences where you have something to say and then just say it. Because in school, you may raise your hand and a teacher calls on you. But in the real world, if you raise your hand, you got to call on yourself. So call on yourself, show courage, and each meeting will become much, much easier. If you need more assistance with speaking up, especially in work environments, and you are currently facing a lot of anxiety and you don't know what to do about it, apply for a free 15-minute consultation call where I will address some of your issues. And understand this, I get a few of these calls every week, so you must apply and fill out all the information. And if you do apply, I will be contacting you back on the email or the number that you provide. Check out the link in the description box right on below. And thank you for joining the Armani Talks podcast.